I was absolutely certain I was about to die. The diplomatic hall of the Varelian Star Arc was the last place a human infantry officer was supposed to stand alone. The chamber was massive, grown rather than built, arched ribs of living metal curving overhead, walls pulsing faintly with bioluminescent veins. Every sound echoed like a heartbeat. Every alien eye in the room was fixed on me. I was Lieutenant Aaron Cole, Terran Expeditionary Force. Combat background. Zero diplomatic training. And I was here because the galaxy was running out of options. Humanity had arrived late to the interstellar stage, but we had arrived loud. Our fleets were smaller. Our technology cruder. Yet wherever humans fought alongside other species, impossible things happened. Lines held. Evacuations succeeded. Enemies that had crushed ancient empires stalled against stubborn primates who refused to retreat. Now the Varelian Empire, one of the oldest and most powerful civilizations known, had finally agreed to meet a human representative. That representative was supposed to be an ambassador. Instead, it was me. Remain silent, the translator drone whispered in my ear. The royal presence approaches. The temperature dropped. The hall dimmed. Then she entered. Princess Kalith Erin of Virelia walked between two honor guards clad in ornate exo-armor. She was tall, slender, and fully sealed inside a ceremonial helmet of translucent crystal and gold-veined alloy. Her movements were graceful, controlled, and utterly alien. This was the woman whose people commanded living warships the size of cities. The woman whose word could decide whether humanity survived the coming war or was erased alongside dozens of other failed allies. She stopped a few steps in front of me. Silence stretched. "You are human," she said, her voice filtered through the helmet, musical, calm, and terrifyingly precise. "Yes, Your Highness," I replied, forcing myself not to fidget. "Lieutenant Aaron Cole. You are not a diplomat." "No, A pause. "Then why are you here?" I swallowed. "Because every diplomat you've met lied to you. And soldiers usually don't." A murmur rippled through the court. The princess tilted her head, studying me. "You are unafraid." That almost made me laugh. "I am terrified," I said honestly. But humans learned a long time ago that fear doesn't mean stop. Another pause. Then something unexpected happened. Princess Kalith raised her hands and disengaged her helmet. The crystal segments unfolded like petals, retracting smoothly until her face was fully revealed. Time stopped. There was no other word for it, stunning. Not in a human way exactly, but close enough to hit every instinct at once. Smooth, iridescent skin shifting subtly with light. Eyes like molten silver, deep and intelligent. Elegant facial ridges that framed her features like living art. She was alien and breathtaking in equal measure. Before I could stop myself, the word slipped out. Gorgeous. The hall exploded in gasps. I froze, every survival instinct screaming that I had just committed a diplomatic execution. The honor guards tensed. Courtiers hissed. One of them actually shouted for my immediate removal. The princess raised a single finger. Silence fell instantly. She stepped closer to me, close enough that I could feel warmth radiating from her skin. "Say it again," she said softly. My brain short-circuited. Your Highness, I meant no disrespect." "Say it again." I met her eyes, fully expecting death. Gorgeous, I repeated, quieter this time. Because you are. For several heartbeats, nothing happened. Then Princess Caliph laughed. It wasn't cruel. Or mocking. It was genuine. In 4 centuries, she said, turning to her stunned court, no being has spoken to me without calculation. Without fear. Without desire for advantage. She looked back at me. You saw me and spoke truth. The guards relaxed, confused. The princess gestured for me to walk with her. As we moved through the living hall, she questioned me not about politics or treaties, but about Earth. About why humans kept fighting wars they could barely win. Why our soldiers volunteered for missions with no guarantee of survival. I told her the truth. We don't have ancient wisdom, I said. We don't have living starships. What we have is each other. And the refusal to abandon someone once they're ours. Her expression shifted, curiosity giving way to something deeper. The moment came sooner than expected. The alarms screamed. The hall shook violently as energy blasts rocked the Ark. A hostile faction, longtime enemies of the Varelians, had launched a surprise attack, aiming straight for the royal chambers. The honor guards moved instantly, surrounding the princess. I didn't think. I grabbed her arm and pulled her behind a structural column as plasma fire tore through the space she'd been standing. Human, one guard shouted. Unhand her. Unless you want her dead, I snapped, drawing my sidearm. Trust me. The attackers breached the inner hall, heavily armored, ruthless, and far too close. The guards fought brilliantly, but they were outnumbered. I stepped forward. Humans didn't have living armor or energy blades. We had tactics. And stubbornness. I coordinated with the guards, shouting angles, exploiting choke points, using my body where shields failed. I took a hit to the shoulder that nearly dropped me, but I stayed upright, firing until my weapon overheated. When it was over, the floor was scorched and silent. I collapsed to one knee, blood seeping through my uniform. Princess Caliph knelt beside me, her hands glowing faintly as she stabilized my wound with biolight. You protected me, she said quietly. Yeah, I groaned. Kind of the job. Her eyes searched my face. No, she said. It was a choice. Days later, as I recovered aboard the Ark, the full weight of what had happened became clear. The princess invoked bond of acknowledgement, an ancient Varelian rite reserved for those who had saved a royal life without obligation. By law, that made humanity, not just me, protected by the Empire. An alliance stronger than any treaty. Before I returned to Earth, Princess Caliph met me privately. She wore no helmet this time. You changed how my people see yours, she said. Not through power, but through honesty. I smiled weakly. Guess humans are good at that sometimes. She stepped closer. When you called me gorgeous, she said softly, you saw more than a princess. I saw someone real, I replied. Her lips curved into a smile that the galaxy would one day fear and admire in equal measure. Then return someday, Aaron Cole, she said. Not as a soldier, but as a friend. As my ship departed the Ark, I realized something important. Humanity didn't conquer the stars with strength. We did it by being unafraid to speak truth. Even when standing before something truly, impossibly beautiful.